Today we're gonna flip a Bonafide XTR. Woo! And I'm filming this after the fact because I may or may not be $600 in the hole because I lost a microphone and an action camera in the process. So please watch this.
Y'all better like and subscribe to that video.
Yeah. Oh boy, let's get into it. So initial thoughts. It's very dark, sorry. Super stable. We came up here last night and we set this boat up to get ready for today. We came here overnight and we put the motor on it. I want to set these boats up like I would fish it, not just taking it off the shelf like most people do in reviewing it. I want this thing to be set up so I can tell you guys that this is solid. And initial reaction, man, I am overzealous. I hope I'm not disappointed when we get to grass. We're gonna head in that cheese over there in a little bit though, because that's part of this test. Nobody's really done a review on how this thing does in the cheese, and that's what I fish. So we need to see how that goes. But we're gonna sit and paddle because that's what most people do. I mean, it is a heavier kayak, so like when I had the Hobies, they are a little more of a bear. Let's see. Is it really that much different? I wouldn't really say so. I mean, we're in thick vegetation right now, and you know, the effort level is higher because you're here, but it's not moving slower than other kayaks do on grass, if that makes sense. This is hydrilla. You can see it's hydrilla and it's pads, and it's not, I mean, it glides over it. It's just, you know, a heavier kayak. So, you know, it's not that it's bad, it's just heavy, I guess. I mean, we're in some thick stuff right now. All right, so first test on the XTR, we're at 100% throttle. And a lot of people don't do these tests where they just like abuse motors on it. And this is my motor, we set it up. So we're just gonna stand up while we're going throttle. Sick. We don't really have any way to track speed right now. I'm gonna pull up some charts later. You guys probably don't care about the 180 Pro on this, right? Like I'd probably throw a NK300, 100% throttle. I'm standing up. Super stable, man. Like yeah. Talk a lot of trash on this boat, but initial thoughts are just like, that's so cool. Look, I'm leaning all the way over. Yeah, it's mental. It has to be 100% mental. Cause like dude, I just tried dumping this thing. I'm leaning it over as hard as I can on both sides.
That's like, gonna be the one I get.
Look, I am like. There we go. Woo! Woo! We found our balance point. Well, that goes to show you, look, I just dumped it and I went out and none of my gear went in. Yeah. I'm out here to do this. I care if I... All right, so we've been fishing the whole morning on this boat, Bonafide XTR, and you know, saw the clip of me flipping this thing. Obviously, we're using a paddle to makeshift steer. We did not hook up pedal steering before we came here. I wanted to do a quick release motor mount. You can hear the motor cavitating right now. We're going through some thick stuff. Kayak itself does very, very well in grass. I mean, it's, so let's go in two phases here. Is it nimble? Not really, right? Is it easy to paddle for its size? Yes. It's not a burden per se if you're used to fishing in grass, right? It feels the same as any other kayak. Swivel seat is annoying when you're trying to like dig, right? Because you're gonna turn. But besides that, you see what we're in. I'm not having problems. So this next part of the video, you're gonna see, we're gonna go right into it, doing on the water flipping and reboarding. And you can hear my voice, I'm getting sick. And we lost our camera with all the footage of talking about our impressions of the kayak, right? But just, we'll go ahead and roll into this next part. We had some people filming us. We got to flip it 3 different ways, or attempt to flip it. And that was a great time. I'll give my unbiased review, my final thoughts. Again, that's not my kayak. I was demoing it at Relax Retreat. Thank you again, Chris, for allowing me to do these videos now. But yeah, we'll roll right into the flipping. This is what y'all want to see. And we'll wrap it up after that.
Again, you can fall out, but you really have to be acting a fool like you.
No, you have to try to flip it.
All right, so the Bonafide XTR130, final thoughts. I'll lead off by saying when this boat came out, I was its biggest critic, okay? It looked massive, it looks huge, and I wanted to test it, right? And like I said, I had the opportunity to work with Relax Retreat Outdoors. They are a big adventures dealer, but we'll potentially have other kayaks. So we're gonna do this with all of them. But I will say I am extremely surprised, and I am sorry to the Bonafide people that I dogged about your bass boat. It's still a bass boat in my opinion, but let's just kind of break it down. We're gonna talk about stability, fishability in grass, and then walk you through some tips after reboarding it and flipping it that I know will help you guys out. So you don't have to learn these things on the fly. You can just take these tips and apply it if you do fall out like me. First thing I want to note is I was pleasantly surprised with how easy it is to put on your cart and truck bed it, right? A lot of people say, oh, you need a trailer. I break down my kayaks when I transport, and it wasn't difficult. It was actually easier to put on the truck bed than my Hobie PA12 was. It's not a round of a hole, so it does sit on a bed extender nice and slides in. So for transport, it's really easy. It's not that heavy when you're carrying the front handle either. A lot of the weight is in the rear of the kayak, especially with your gear. So, I mean, it is big, so I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 for transporting, just because it is a little heavy, right? But you know that getting into it when you're looking at buying one of these. Ultimately, I would say get a trailer, but if you don't have the opportunity and don't want to register it, I threw it in my truck just fine. So when it comes to the actual fishing, I really like this boat. I'll probably give it close to a 9.5 or a 10. And the only things that I'm really disappointed with, and that's just for how I set this up, when you're mounting your 16x16 black pack in the rear, there is a battery groove, and you'll notice it's about 13 inches, 12 inches of space that's unusable as I put my battery in my black pack, right? So that's gonna cut out a lot of the room you have to be able to swivel in your seat and turn around and use the black pack. When I'm doing foot steering controls, it would put those foot steering pegs real close up to me, make it a little uncomfortable for those tight maneuvers. But other than that, the kayak itself is super stable. There's a lot of room, plenty of gear track to modify. And as we went throughout the day, you can see why a lot of people like this. It paddled great in the pads. The way the hull's shaped in the front, it's a V-taper. It doesn't pick up a lot of the hydrilla in the pads like I thought it would. It is a heavier boat, right? And paddling in thick stuff, it sucks, regardless of what platform. But I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. Only for the little changes I would make. Adding maybe a locking swivel seat would help when you're paddling in thick vegetation. But those are all things you can do afterwards. Out of the box though, it exceeded my expectations. So some pointers and some tips. This is what I would take away from this. If you own an XTR, you're looking at getting one. Right, again, I don't own that boat. I rented it. It was a demo, a full demo. Reboarding your kayak. Obviously in the video you saw, I was reboarding it via the rear. If you have a motor and you're loaded down, obviously that's not going to be a thing. Reboarding it from the side when I was fully geared was perfectly easy. It's a V-taper down gunnel, so you can pull yourself over. I would definitely get yourself an assist strap so you could pull it back over, as opposed to how I was trying to bench press it to get it off me. That was just on the fly flipping it because I was standing in 4 feet. So definitely get yourself a stand assist strap. It will help you flip that kayak back over and reboard it in the front or on the side. Those are the biggest pointers I would have. A lot of people commented, oh, you know, if you have a motor and stuff, I get it. I know. I was just doing it for a video. When it comes to the actual flipping of the kayak, like I said, and like you saw, the only time I could get it to flip is if I held on to the side handles and I pulled it over myself, okay? We lost a lot of footage. We lost an action cam, we lost a net, we lost a microphone. So we're gonna do some more testing for y'all. That's what we got, that's what we're rolling with, and I gotta put a video out because then the action camera would be in vain losing it. But overall, standing on the nose, for those of you that are interested in an XTR, that front base platform, if you get yourself some sort of stand assist or something to ground yourself like your paddle, it's like walking on a dock, okay? You know, getting the nerves out, stepping up there the first few times, it is nerve-wracking, right? It's a little tippy because it's elevated, but it made for some phenomenal punching. We lost that footage. Was trying to really get back up in the thick stuff and show you guys the use of that platform. But overall, man, the boat is super solid. If you're looking for a shallow water rig, I was drafting in like 4 inches of water at one point with the motor and just trim it up and it's good. Had no issues there. And I really think the only downfall would be if you're looking for a kayak to drag, you know, smaller bodies of water. It could be a bear to do that. I didn't want to drag a demo boat. But overall, XTR, man, that's a win. It's on my list of boats to potentially purchase. So hope you guys got some tips out of that. You know, the biggest takeaway from this is I was a huge critic of the boat. when it dropped, I was like, man, they dropped the ball on that. And I should have just demoed one sooner, because it's a lot smaller than you think once you fish off of it. So if you're interested in it and you're in the South Carolina area, come by Carolina King Relax Retreat. I'll get you out on a demo, talk with Chris and the team there, and we'll get you set up any platform you want from Big Adventures. As always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We get to do this because of you, and this is the way we're going with the channel now. Some fun, unbiased content. Don't work for a kayak brand anymore. That is an announcement. I stepped away from representing kayak teams. I'm going to represent the local store, whatever brands they sell, and really looking forward to providing that content. So drop a comment. Let me know what boat from Big Adventures you want me to flip next. That's what this is all about. I'll do the dirty work so you guys don't have to worry about it. As always, thank you guys. Like I said, hit the subscribe, share it out, and we'll see you on the next one.